Click here to subscribe our channel. Do not forget to press the bell icon to get regular updates of free videos.
Orientation class for Indian Economic Service. Initially I will be explaining the approach and the content, how we will be providing you the class, and what are the various components, what are the features of this course. So first thing, Indian Economic Service, the course content. As you know, there will be 4 paper. One will be General Economics 1, General Economics 2, General Economics 3, and Indian Economics. That will be our 4th. In addition, General Studies and General English. So today we are starting with the Indian Economic Service batch. So initially in this first lecture, which is mainly an orientation, I will be explaining the approach first thing, and what are the various components, and what are will be the various features of our lecture. So you can write the first thing, that Indian Economic Service examination pattern. In the examination pattern, there will be 4 paper related to the economics, which include General Economics 1, which mainly include a micro numerical and maths, stats and econometrics section. So you can divide this General Economics into 2 parts. One will be dealing with micro numerical, and other is including econometrics. Some questions are related to maths and stats, but mainly it is econometrics. This first paper will be carrying 200 marks. After that, second paper, General Economics 2, then General Economics 3, and Indian Economics. So the second paper is also 200, paper number 3 and paper number 4. So you can say 800 marks related to economics and 100 marks each for General Studies and General English. GS 100 and General English. So written exam is of 1000 marks, and if you qualify here, then for interview there will be 200 marks. So your ranking will be based upon how much you score out of 1200, but the first step is basically this 1000 marks. The second paper and third paper include basically the content related to macro, money, banking and finance, international economics, growth and development section, environmental economics. So it is second paper and third paper is basically including those topics, and the first paper is basically micro numerical, and the second section, that means if you divide this entire paper, you will find 2 type of question. One related to the numericals of the micro. They will be, it is not that all questions are numerical in nature. There also you will be getting some theoretical or descriptive question, but there will be some numerical based question as well. And the second paper and this third paper will be of 200 marks and 200 marks, and this Indian Economics. Now one first thing that I will be explaining here is that how this Indian Economics course is linked with, we can say, Indian Administrative Service course, IES, because many of you may be appearing in both the paper, and we are basically also providing that combined lecture. So how much is common in both, that is Indian Economy Service and Indian Administrative Service. So just to make a comparison, so I think this will be the examination pattern. Syllabus of each is there on a UPSC site, and we have basically simplified it topic wise. You will find it everything on our site, and once you will get the access of the lecture, you will find that. So this for example, general economics first part, this include a theory of consumer demand. Now within that theory of consumer demand, what are the various subtopics? Second will be theory of production. What are the subtopics within that theory of production? We have listed and detailed. Then the third will be theory of value, the topics including that. Then theory of distribution. After that welfare economics, and then second section, that is part B, which is mathematical methods in economics, statistical and econometrics model. So what are the various topics? But one thing you should be remembering, that what is mentioned in the syllabus, it is not that question paper will be strictly sticking to that. That means sometimes what you are observing and seeing is this written part, but there may be a question outside from that part as well. So the purpose of class will be to cover all, but how we will judge or how we will decide how much extra we have to do, for that purpose we will be referring to the previous year question. The previous year question basically gives enough idea कितने परसेंटेज क्वेश्चन एक्स्ट्रा हो सकते हैं और कितने परसेंटेज क्वेश्चन आपको जो लिखे हुए वही आते हैं. So when we are comparing with Indian Economy Service course and the economics optional of IES, remember IES exam economics optional, there will be two paper 1 and paper 2. In Indian Economic Service exam, there are 4 papers related to economics: General Economics 1, General Economics 2nd, 3rd, and Indian. Now this Indian economics and this paper 2 of optional is same. In fact, in the economic service the content will be less, which means you don't have to refer to the Indian economy pre-independence, economic history. Economic history is included there in the optional paper, but not here. This first paper of Indian Economy Service, we can say the distinguishing factor. You have to cover it in addition to the optional classes. So paper 1 here include micro, paper 1 include macro, money and finance, international, growth and development, all. That micro, macro, international, growth and development, and money and finance, those topics are divided here into 2 parts, which is in paper 2 and paper 3. So this one paper is here divided into 2 papers. And this first paper you can say is a specific topic for only for Indian Economy Service. So I will say around if you prepare this course, then you are preparing around 80% of the Indian Economy Service. So 80% content is, we can say, common, but 20% you have to add, and 20% you have to add which will be including first paper in totality, not in totality, but we can say 70-80% क्वेश्चन will be न्यू ईयर. एनवायरमेंटल इकोनॉमिक्स के क्वेश्चन थोड़े ज़्यादा टेक्निकल इकोनॉमिक सर्विस में होंगे, यहाँ भी होते हैं बट उतने टेक्निकल नहीं होंगे, बट इकोनॉमिक सर्विस के अंदर वो ज़्यादा टेक्निकल हो जाएंगे. इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स कम्प्लीटली नया हो जाएगा. मैथ्स और स्टैट्स ऑप्शन के अंदर बिल्कुल कंटेंट नहीं होता. सो 75-80% कोर्स इज बेसिकली कॉमन. So the lecture plan is basically that in the Indian Economic Service approximately 200 lecture will be uploaded. Now out of those 200 lecture 130 lecture ये ऑप्शनल के लेक्चर होते हैं, मतलब ऑप्शनल के कंटेंट को कवर करने में अराउंड 130 लेक्चर लगता है, इकोनॉमिक सर्विस के कंटेंट को कवर करने में 200 और 200 प्लस, सो 70-80 एडिशनल लेक्चर. तो दो 70-80 एडिशनल लेक्चर इज बेसिकली फॉर कवरिंग फर्स्ट पेपर environmental economics, and there will be few classes for general studies part like for polity, for geography, for history and so on. So when you get this Indian Economic Service course, in that Indian Economic Service course you will be getting in fact two part. That means once you will get the access, you will have the on your portal. Your course will be including two things. One, this 130 lecture, and the other will be we are marking it as a specific topic. That specific topic is mainly for Indian Economic Service only, which include micronumerical, econometrics, environmental economics and general studies section. So combined all we can say around 80 lecture will be there for a specific topic. So when you club both, so those who have done basically economics optional classes from here, they can take this specific topic. तो अगर स्पेसिफिक को ऐड कर लेते हैं तो आपका इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस का कंटेंट हो जाता है. क्लियर? तो आई थिंक लेक्चर के अकॉर्डिंगली क्लियर है. नाउ अदर इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज यूजुअली क्लासेस आर ऑफलाइन एंड ऑनलाइन बोथ. तो ऑफलाइन और ऑनलाइन दोनों ही क्लासेस होती है, बट अगेन बिकॉज ऑफ दिस थर्ड वेव देयर इज नो ऑफलाइन क्लासेस फॉर दिस सेशन ऑल्सो. Almost we can say for surety that there will be no offline classes in the near future. For in the month of January, February, obviously there will be no offline classes. So classes are only on the online mode. Clear? तो usually the pattern ये होता है कि जो offline की classes होती है वो record होकर के online students को मिल जाती है. It is not a live format, but online की offline की जो classes होती है वो record करके आपको आपके portal पे available हो जाती है और उस लेक्चर को आप कभी भी देख सकते हैं, रिपीट करके भी देख सकते हैं. नाउ सिंस ऑफलाइन की क्लासेस नहीं है तो ये क्लासेस अभी सिर्फ ऑनलाइन पे है. सो एवरी डे स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम टुडे, दैट इज 3rd of January 2022, every day one lecture will be uploaded. Every day one lecture will be uploaded. So in the month of, we will try to upload more than one. That means there are two courses I said. One will be the economics optional and there will be a specific topic. So around in 4 months we can say 4 or 4.5 months all lectures will be uploaded. Now for Indian Economic Service you will find two batch. One we can say that the old batch and this is the new batch. New batch starting from today 3rd January 2022 and this old batch started in the month of July 2021. ठीक है, 2021 जुलाई वाले बैच में I will just show on the portal. ठीक है, जुलाई वाले कोर्स के अंदर ऑलरेडी how many lectures? Around 80-90 lecture has been uploaded. Clear? So when you get the access, this will be basically the platform. So on my courses you will be getting basically various courses. So this will be including Indian Economic Service course for 2022 like this. Once you will open this, you will be getting this format, answer sheet format, study material topic wise, toppers answer sheet, good answer copies, Indian Economic Service previous year question, note section, macro additional, all those additional material that will be provided to you will be uploaded here. and when you click this lecture, then all lectures uploaded so far. So lecture number 1, what will be the content of that, lecture number 2, what will be the content of that. So if you want to see, that means in this batch already 86 lecture has been uploaded, and for Indian economy 2 lecture has been uploaded. ये old batch में है. That means if you get access of old batch today, you will be getting access to those all 86 lecture and paper 2 lecture and the specific topic lecture. And in the new batch, we will be starting with the new content. That means in the new batch, the videos will be new. It is not the same video. ठीक है, ये this was basically video recorded in the month of May June. जो ऑप्शनल के मई जून का बैच था 28 मई के बैच का, वो वीडियो इसके अंदर इंक्लूडेड है. और जो न्यू बैच में प्रोवाइड हो जाएगा वो जो 18 अक्टूबर के ऑप्शनल के रिकॉर्डेड वीडियोस है. 18 अक्टूबर से जो बैच स्टार्ट हुआ उसके जो वीडियोस होंगे वो होंगे. दैट मीन्स इन द ओल्ड बैच 28 मई को जो बैच स्टार्ट हुआ था इकोनॉमिक्स ऑप्शनल का, उसके कंटेंट इंक्लूडेड होंगे, वो लेक्चर है. और जो नया बैच आज स्टार्ट हो रहा है उसमें 18 अक्टूबर से जो बैच स्टार्ट हुआ है उसके जो वीडियो है वो अपलोडेड है. दैट मीन्स वो रिवाइज हो गया, जो कंटेंट है वो रिवाइज है. एंड इफ यू वांट टू सी एनी पर्टिकुलर लेक्चर, सो व्हेंस यू क्लिक दैट एनी पर्टिकुलर लेक्चर, जैसे so this will be basically the way that we will be providing the lectures. ठीक है, वो आपके स्क्रीन पे ज़्यादा क्लियर होगा बिकॉज ये विजुअलाइजर के थ्रू है, तो इट विल बी वेरी क्लियर ऑन योर स्क्रीन. क्लियर. ऑल जितने भी फीचर्स आपको ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म के लिए रिक्वायर्ड होता है, मतलब क्लास को आपको रिपीट करके देखना. एडवांटेज क्लास ऑनलाइन क्लास के साथ अभी है कि यू कैन सी दैट लेक्चर एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. आप उसको रिवाइज कर सकते हो, अपने पेज से देख सकते हो. फर्स्ट राउंड जब आप लेक्चर को देख रहे हैं तो ऑब्वियसली उसे प्रॉपरली आपने डायग्राम ड्रॉ किया, रिटन जो कंटेंट है वो लिखा प्रॉपरली नोट्स के फॉर्म में. सेकंड टाइम जब आप रिवाइज कर रहे हो तो आपको लिखना नहीं है, डायग्राम ड्रॉ नहीं करना है, तो आप उसको थोड़ा फास्ट पेस से देख सकते हो. दैट मीन्स रिवीजन पर्पस के लिए. ठीक है, ऑल दोस फीचर्स विल बी देयर. सो दिस न्यू बैच, द लेक्चर्स uploaded that will be uploaded in this new batch will be basically those lectures which were recorded for the economics optional, and that batch started from 18th of October. ये तो 18th अक्टूबर वाले बैच में इंडियन इकोनॉमी के जो लेक्चर्स हैं, बिकॉज आपके मन में कंसर्न हो सकता है कि जो रीसेंट टॉपिक है, जो करंट है वो है, तो इंडियन इकोनॉमी के जो लेक्चर है वो अभी भी रिकॉर्डेड हुए हैं, मतलब दिसंबर के रिकॉर्डेड है. जो अभी तक के 10-11 वीडियो रिकॉर्डेड है और मोर विल बी रिकॉर्डेड इन दिस मंथ, और वो कंटिन्यू रहेगा टिल वी कैन से इकोनॉमिक सर्वे और बजट जब आ जाता है 2022 का, तो वो अपडेटेड है. ऐसे ये नहीं कि कोई पुराना ले गया इंडियन इकोनॉमी, बिकॉज इंडियन इकोनॉमी में एक कंसर्न रहता है, there will be no current related aspect in General Economics 1, General Economics 2 and 3, but there will be current related as issues in Indian economy paper. Clear? So this will be basically the pattern. Now other important point is whether students should be preparing only for Indian economy service or for AS as well, Indian economics administrative service as well. Remember, obviously the number of vacancies for Indian economic service is very limited. ठीक है, लास्ट ईयर और करंट ईयर में भी ओनली 14. ऑब्वियसली यहाँ पे सिविल सर्विस का एग्जाम आप अगर लिख रहे हैं तो यहाँ पे अगर वैकेंसीज कम है तो भी अराउंड 700 के आसपास की वैकेंसी आज की डेट में भी है. बट हेयर यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर जनरल स्टडीज मोर. ठीक है, यहाँ जनरल स्टडीज़ का वेटेज ज़्यादा हो जाता है, प्लस प्रीलिम्स एग्ज़ाम भी होगा, तो एक एडिशनल हर्डल भी है. तो जिनको दोनों एग्ज़ाम देने, आई सजेस्ट कि आप दोनों एग्ज़ाम लिखें, बट अगर आप इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस पे स्टिक कर रहे हैं तो ये ध्यान रखेंगे कि यहाँ पे वैकेंसीज कम होती है. बट वैकेंसीज कम होने से भी ये नहीं कि बस सिलेक्शन, अगर आप सिंसियरली प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज यू हैव टू मीट द कट ऑफ, एंड द कट ऑफ इज इन द रेंज ऑफ 47 to 48%. So you have to score around that. 50% स्कोर कर लोगे तो कंफर्म है. नंबर ऑफ सीट्स 14 है, बट स्टिल बिकॉज दो बट अगर 47-48% कट ऑफ रेगुलरली जाता है, 47-48% कट ऑफ अगर रेगुलरली है, that means to score here is difficult. So how to score around 50% or more than 50%? To score in totality around 50%, 1 और 2 पेपर में आपका कोर एडवांटेज होना चाहिए, 1 और 2 पेपर के अंदर आपके कोर एडवांटेज होना चाहिए, मीन्स उसमें थोड़ा स्कोर आपको ज़्यादा करना है, लेट से 110 115 ऐसा स्कोर अगर किसी 1 पेपर में या 2 पेपर में आ जाता है तो ये 47-48, दैट मीन्स आउट ऑफ 1000 मार्क्स यूपीएससी के साइट पे लास्ट करंट ईयर का कट ऑफ अवेलेबल है, वो आप देख सकते हो उसमें जनरल कैटेगरीज में या रिजर्व कैटेगरी के अंदर कितने कट ऑफ गए हैं, बट 46-47% मार्क्स इज गुड इनफ टू फेस द इंटरव्यू, ऑब्वियसली नॉट गुड इनफ टू क्वालिफाई करने के लिए कट ऑफ से थोड़ा अराउंड 30-40 मार्क्स आपको अबव रहना है। इस 1000 मार्क्स में आपको ये स्कोर करने हैं। जनरल स्टडीज़ का वेटेज होगा बट जनरल स्टडीज़ 100 मार्क्स का है। अब आपने अगर बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं भी पढ़ रखा है, अराउंड इफ़ यू मैनेज देयर जस्ट अराउंड से 40 मार्क्स, इट्स नॉट मैंडेटरी, कम होने पे भी होता है बिकॉज एग्रीगेट मैटर करता है, कोई सेक्शनल क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं है कि हर पेपर के अंदर आपको 40% आनी चाहिए। तो जनरल स्टडीज़ में आपको जस्ट मैनेज करना है, जनरल इंग्लिश में भी मैनेज करना है आपको। फर्स्ट जनरल इकोनॉमिक्स 1, 2, 3 और 4 आउट ऑफ दिस 4 किसी एक पेपर में एडवांटेज लेना है, किसी एक पेपर में एडवांटेज लेना है। तो ये जो 14 है ऑब्वियसली एज फार एज द रिजल्ट इज कंसर्न, ऑप्शनल के अंदर जो इकोनॉमिक सर्विस के अंदर जो रिजल्ट है करंट ईयर में फ्रॉम ब्लिस पॉइंट स्टडीज 7 स्टूडेंट्स थे आउट ऑफ 14, 7 out of 14, 7 students qualified this year. Rank 2, rank 3, rank 5, rank 9, 10, 11 and 13. Last year also rank 4 and 5. तो last 2 years से obviously vacancies कम है. Last year obviously it was rank 5 and rank 6. तो although vacancy कम है but अगर आप regularly जो भी lecture upload किए जा रहे हैं वो आपके need के accordingly है। इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज यूपीएससी का जो रिक्वायरमेंट है उस रिक्वायरमेंट को फुलफिल करना है, एंड रिक्वायरमेंट इज दैट यू आर बेसिकली राइटिंग आंसर फ्रॉम द कोर बुक, एंड व्हेन आई से कोर बुक इट मीन्स फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर रीडिंग एनी माइक्रो बुक, तो माइक्रो में एन नंबर ऑफ बुक्स है, बहुत सारे बुक्स अवेलेबल है, जो क्लोजेस्ट आपके नीड को फुलफिल करता होगा दैट विल बी क्वेश्चनिस। आपको कंप्लीट क्वेश्चनिस नहीं पढ़नी है, जो रेलिवेंट चैप्टर्स पढ़ने हैं उनका जेरोक्स एज अ स्टडी मटेरियल विल बी प्रोवाइडिंग टू यू। इफ यू आर रीडिंग क्लासिकल मॉडल जस्ट रीड 2 चैप्टर फ्रॉम द फ्रंट, चैप्टर 3 एंड चैप्टर 4 एंड राइट आंसर फ्रॉम देयर। सेम वर्ड्स सेम सेंटेंसेस लिखने हैं, अपने वर्ड्स कम यूज करने। आंसर लिखने का फॉर्मेट ये कि बट इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू राइट इन दैट लैंग्वेज अनलेस यू हैव नॉट प्रैक्टिस्ड। सो फॉर दैट पर्पस आई सजेस्ट make a habit of writing 1 or 2 answer every day. Just maintain a separate spiral and topic wise question will be available to you. Topic wise that means general economics 1 के, 2nd के, 3rd, वो जितने भी टॉपिक वाइज क्वेश्चन अभी तक पास्ट ईयर में आ रखे हैं इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस के प्लस ऑप्शनल के भी, दोनों ही क्वेश्चन आपको टॉपिक वाइज मिल जाएंगे। दैट मीन्स पूल ऑफ क्वेश्चन दोनों ही लेना है। आप प्रिपेयर करो इकोनॉमिक सर्विस का बट आपको क्वेश्चन ये भी देखना है बिकॉज इसके सारे कंटेंट इसमें इंक्लूडेड है। तो यू हैव टू दैट मीन्स नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन जो आप अटेम्प्ट करेंगे वो ग्रेटर होगा। सो मेक अ हैबिट ऑफ राइटिंग 1 or 2 आंसर एवरी डे। दिस इज इन एडिशन टू योर टेस्ट। सो नाउ वी कम टू द टेस्ट सीरीज सेक्शन which will be included in this batch. So for Indian Economic Service test series, this include in fact 14 tests. Out of this 14, for General Economics 1 there will be 3 tests, and those 3 tests are basically, first test will be micro part, second will be stats, econometrics, and third will be the comprehensive, that means including all. Similarly, General Economics 2, 1 sectional, 2nd sectional, 3rd comprehensive. General Economics 3, 1 sectional, 2nd sectional and 3rd comprehensive. And for Indian economy, sectional 2 and 1 comprehensive. And for this, that means this becomes 12. For general studies there will be 1 test, and for English there will be 1. Clear? So this will be basically your 14 test. You will be getting model answer of those tests. That means majority of question will be providing you as a model answer, and you will be getting evaluated copy. You can discuss your evaluated copy 1-to-1. दैट मीन्स जैसे आपको वो मिल जाएगा आपके पोर्टल पे, आपको इवेलुएटेड आंसर से जब आप आंसर लिखेंगे, दैट मीन्स आपके कोर्स के अंदर टेस्ट सीरीज में इंक्लूडेड होगा. टेस्ट लिख करके आपको स्कैन करके अपलोड कर देना. इवेलुएटेड कॉपी भी आपको पोर्टल पे मिलेगी और मेल पे मिलेगी. वंस यू गेट दैट, आफ्टर दैट यू कैन कॉल कि आपको किसी पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन में अगर फर्दर सजेशन चाहिए इंडिविजुअली, तो आप कॉल करके वो सजेशन ले सकते हैं. जस्ट मैं टेस्ट सीरीज का आपको लिंक शो कर दे रहा हूँ, किस ऑर्डर में वो टेस्ट सीरीज होगा. ठीक है, तो व्हाट आई विल बी हैविंग बेसिकली दिस, वंस यू अपलोड योर आंसर शीट, योर इनकमिंग कॉपीज, योर एक्सेप्टेड कॉपीज, then evaluate, upload answer sheet, you will be getting the you have to upload the answer sheet here and evaluated copies. तो evaluated copies में जब आप जाएंगे तो आपके evaluated copies आपको दिख जाएंगे. मेल पे और मैसेज में दोनों वो इन्फॉर्मेशन रहेगा. तो जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अगर कोई evaluated copy आपने स्टार्ट किया, तो यहाँ से अगर मैंने कोई evaluated copy डाउनलोड किया तो आपके पास वो evaluated copy है ऑलरेडी, and I will be also having that evaluated copy. So I can discuss to you with you 1-to-1 कि आपने किसी पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, क्या इशू है. ठीक है, और मॉडल आंसर जो हमारे एंड से प्रोवाइड होगा, जस्ट आई विल शो सम सैम्पल. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको टेस्ट मॉडल आंसर होंगे, गुड आंसर शीट्स विल बी शेयरिंग. जो क्वालिफाइड स्टूडेंट्स थे उनके कुछ आंसर शीट होंगे, वो भी हम आपसे शेयर करेंगे. और मॉडल आंसर जब आप ओपन करेंगे तो मॉडल आंसर में जितने भी सेक्शनल वाइज अपलोडेड होंगे, जैसे मान लिया किसी पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन का सॉल्यूशन है, तो आपको इस फॉर्मेट में वो मॉडल आंसर के फॉर्म मिल जाएगा कि ठीक है, ये न्यूमेरिकल लास्ट ईयर जो आ रखा था उस क्वेश्चन का प्रॉपरली यहाँ पे सॉल्यूशन मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, हाउ टू यू हैव टू प्रेजेंट, हाउ यू हैव टू राइट, एवरीथिंग विल बी देयर. दैट मीन्स ऑल सॉल्यूशन विल बी देयर. प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन, उसका डिस्कशन, उसके मॉडल आंसर, कोई इंडिविजुअल डाउट है, कुछ एक्स्ट्रा आपको एफर्ट करना है, तो फॉर दैट पर्पज जो भी रेस्पेक्टिव फैकल्टीज इन्वॉल्व होंगे, उन सबके नंबर आपके पास अवेलेबल होंगे. किसी पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन में भी अगर आपको डाउट होता है, इवन इन जनरल स्टडीज़ और फॉर माइक्रो न्यूमेरिकल और फॉर मैथ्स और फॉर एनवायरमेंटल इकोनॉमिक्स. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे ये मॉडल आंसर आपको कई सारे मिल जाएंगे किसी भी पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन का अगर आपको देखना है. सो दिस इज इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द टेस्ट सीरीज. देन another information that I want to share with you is I said total number of lecture in the Indian Economic Service will be approximately 200. Out of that 130 lecture, that 130 lecture I will be taking. That means entire जो इकोनॉमिक्स ऑप्शनल का जो कंटेंट है और जो इकोनॉमिक सर्विस के साथ मैच कर रहा है, so I will be taking that, and the remaining which is a specific topic lecture which include micro numerical. So micro numerical will be taken by Sahil Arora. So he will be taking your micro numerical paper, and econometrics will be taken by Amit sir. तो आपके पास सबके नंबर होंगे पर्सनल, ठीक है, आप उनको कॉल करके, जैसे अभी कोई भी डाउट अगर आता है किसी पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक में या सोर्स आइडेंटिफाई नहीं हो रहा या किसी लेक्चर के अंदर आपको कोई इशू आता है, तो आप डायरेक्टली कॉल करके अपनी क्वेरी को सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। दिस विल ऑल्सो इंक्लूड environmental economics, will be taken by Soumya Verma. General studies, again it will be for polity, for history, geography, taken by different faculties. तो आपके पास ये कंप्लीट जो लेक्चर होंगे अराउंड वी कैन से 80 to 90 लेक्चर, दिस विल बी टेकन बाय डिफरेंट फैकल्टीज एंड आई विल बी टेकिंग दिस 130 लेक्चर. दिस 130 लेक्चर अगेन आई रिपीट इज इन कॉमन विद द सिविल सर्विस. सो वो लेक्चर सेम ही होते हैं, मतलब वो सेपरेट लेक्चर रिकॉर्ड नहीं किए जाते. सो वी विल बी स्टार्टिंग बेसिकली विद दिस 130 लेक्चर. सो इन योर कोर्स 3 पार्ट विल बी देयर. 1 this 130 lecture, second a specific topic, and third will be test series. So once you open my courses, your course will be showing 3 things. This 130 lecture one will be one, a specific topic will be second, and test series will be the third. Clear? So what I will be doing is basically, as I said, this 130 lecture, this will be provided, and this was recorded from 18th of October. So after this orientation class, what you will be seeing is the first lecture which was recorded on 18th of October. ठीक है, तो वो मतलब ओल्ड, बहुत ओल्ड लेक्चर नहीं है. जो न्यू बैच है, ऑप्शनल के बैच और इंडियन इकोनॉमी सर्विस के बैच, वो सेम डेट को स्टार्ट नहीं होता है, वो डिफरेंट टाइम लैग से स्टार्ट होता है. ठीक है, इकोनॉमी सर्विस के बिकॉज एग्जाम थोड़े डिलेड होते हैं. इस बार का ऑब्वियसली यू हैव द कैलेंडर ऑफ विथ यू. यूपीएससी के साइट पे आपको वो एकेडमिक कैलेंडर मिल जाएगा. आई थिंक डेट इज 17 जून एंड का है. 5th of June इज प्रीलिम्स एंड आई थिंक 24th और 25th. यहाँ पे आप जो मार्कशीट, जो लास्ट ईयर का करंट ईयर का कट ऑफ है, वो आप देख सकते हो. ठीक है, अगर अभी भी अवेलेबल हो देन यू कैन सी, अदरवाइज यस इट इज देयर. ठीक है, जो क्वालिफाइड स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनके स्कोर है. जो स्टूडेंट्स इस बार क्वालिफाई किया उनका स्कोर है ये. ठीक है, तो जो फर्स्ट रैंक है 462 आउट ऑफ 1000, रैंक 1. इंटरव्यू में 150 और टोटल 612, मतलब आउट ऑफ 1200 612, 50%. आई सेड दैट 50% इज गिविंग यू रैंक 1. सेकेंड रैंक 455 एंड 150, 605. तो आउट ऑफ 1000, बिकॉज योर फर्स्ट स्टेप इज दैट 1000, उस 1000 में अगर आपने स्कोर 47-48% कर लिया तो भी कंफर्टेबल है. हियर यू कैन सी फर्स्ट रैंक 462 था, मतलब 46%. फिर 445, 45%. क्लियर? तो ये मार्क्स बेसिकली जब आप देख रहे हैं तो इसमें थोड़ा ये अलग अलग, मतलब अगर आप लास्ट कट ऑफ वहाँ देख रहे हो तो कट ऑफ काफ़ी लोअर होता है, बट लोअर कट ऑफ इंडिकेट कर रहा है कि इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू स्कोर हियर, डिफिकल्ट टू स्कोर. ओके, एक और भी इंफॉर्मेशन होगा आई थिंक, उसमें सेक्शनल कट ऑफ प्रोवाइडेड है, मतलब अलग अलग कैटेगरी के अकॉर्डिंगली भी अवेलेबल है. So I think I have explained all what is needed. If you want to have any other query related to Indian Economy Service or for optional paper or any other course, you can call me directly on this number. If you want to talk to me, otherwise for any other purpose or for class related query, you can call on this number or this number. Clear? तो क्लास में दोबारा से एक बार रिपीट कर दे रहा हूँ. द क्लासेस आर ओनली ऑन द ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म, एंड फॉर इंडियन इकोनॉमी सर्विस देर आर two batches. Now we can say one the old one and the new one. अगर आपको जल्दी से क्लास देखनी है, in a day you want to see 2 lecture or more than that, then in that case you will be taking the old course. और अगर every day 1 lecture देखना आज से start करते हुए, then I will suggest to take the new. Same video नहीं है but content more or less similar होते हैं. तो इसमें जो न्यू बैच के अंदर जो वीडियोस होंगे वो रिकॉर्डेड हैं फ्रॉम 18th ऑफ अक्टूबर ऑनवर्ड्स. ओल्ड बैच के अंदर जो लेक्चर्स हैं वो रिकॉर्डेड हैं फ्रॉम 18th मई ऑनवर्ड्स. ये भी 2021 का और ये भी 2021 का. क्लियर. और जो इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस का, इंडियन इकोनॉमी का जो कंटेंट है वो दोनों के लिए सेम होना है और वो अभी रिकॉर्ड हो रहे हैं. तो जो जहाँ करंट रिक्वायर्ड है वहाँ पे कोई कंसर्न नहीं है. सो यू डोंट हैव टू बाई एनी सेपरेट बुक. We'll be providing you all the study material. You don't have to buy the 10-year because topic wise question will be made available to you. Test series solution will be there, model answer will be there. So I think everything will be provided. Okay, so I think I have explained all things. So now you will be seeing basically the lecture number 1. And that first lecture will be starting with the micro, and within micro it is starting with the market structure. That market structure will be taking 11 lectures. So lecture number 1 to lecture number 11 that will be covering market structure. ठीक है, ये market structure के पार्ट होंगे. After that it is not that entire micro will be done at one go. After first 11 lecture that will be covering market, then next 11 lecture will be for the macro. Then again we return back to the micro covering the welfare economic section. Then again we return back to macro, and similarly for international and the growth and development. Clear? So now you can see this lecture number 1. So and that lecture number 1 recorded on 18th of October. ठीक है. अभी के जो सिचुएशन 3rd ऑफ जनवरी को है, बिकॉज सम स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो बार बार कॉल करते हैं कि ये ऑफलाइन क्लासेस कब स्टार्ट होंगी. तो ऑफलाइन क्लासेस अभी चल रही थी, मतलब 18th अक्टूबर का जो बैच है वो एक्चुअल में ऑफलाइन क्लास ही थी, बट वो डिसरप्टेड रहा आफ्टर दिवाली पॉल्यूशन की वजह से, और आफ्टर दैट कोविड के अब 3rd वेव की वजह से बंद हो गया है. तो क्लासेस सिर्फ ऑनलाइन फॉर्म में है और नियर फ्यूचर में एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं है. सो डोंट वेट फॉर ऑफलाइन क्लास टू रिज्यूम. अगर रिज्यूम होगा तो अगर आप ऑफलाइन क्लास इंटरेस्टेड है करने के लिए, देन यू विल बी अलाउड टू अटेंड दैट क्लास एज वेल, बट डोंट वेट फॉर दैट पर्पस बिकॉज टाइम आपके पास ज़्यादा नहीं है. जून के अंदर एग्जामिनेशन शेड्यूल्ड है. अगर लास्ट 2 ईयर की तरह फिर से वो शिफ्ट हो जाता है तो अक्टूबर के मंथ में हो जाएगा. ठीक है, लास्ट 2 ईयर से मतलब ये शिफ्ट हो रहे हैं. 20 में भी हुआ, 21 के अंदर भी हुआ, अब 3rd वेव फिर से है. तो बट जो डेट शीट अभी तक अवेलेबल है उसमें जून एंड में आपका इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस का पेपर है, तो आपको उसके अकॉर्डिंगली प्रिपेयर करना है. सो डोंट वेट फॉर दैट ऑफलाइन क्लास टू स्टार्ट विद दिस ऑनलाइन क्लास बिकॉज देयर इज नो डिफरेंस. और कोई प्रॉब्लम होता है, क्वेरी होता है, फॉर दैट पर्पस वी आर हियर टू हेल्प यू. क्लियर. सो थैंक यू फॉर दिस watching this orientation class, and now you can start with your content, which is lecture number 1. Clear? Thank you. So starting with paper 1 first, when economics optional. Paper 1, and in paper 1 we are starting with micro, and within micro start with market structure. So paper 1 we are starting with micro, and in micro we are starting with market structure. It is not that we will be completely covering micro first and then we will be moving to macro. In fact, it will be done in a block, like market structure topic will take around 10 to 11 lectures. Then we will move to macro. We will cover the classical and Keynesian model first, and that will take another 10 to 11 lecture, and then again we'll return back to micro, covering the welfare and so on. So it will be basically in a lot of you can say 10 to 11 lecture, that topic will change. So start with the market structure, and before starting with the market structure, just see the question, because that will help basically to keep your focus on what is needed. So in the from the market structure topic last year, in fact there were 3 questions, and all 3 were from oligopoly section. But in 2000, and out of that 3, 1 question was purely numerical, which was coordinate model. But that numerical question this numerical from coordinate model, lastly it was in 2009 and 2013. So you can say third time this numerical, same coordinate model numerical has been asked. So 1 question was basically numerical, but all 3 were basically from oligopoly section. In 2019 there were 5 questions were there, 4 questions in fact, but it was 1 question from perfect competition, another from monopoly, another from oligopoly, and another from market failure. So the topic of market structure usually gives you around, we can say safely 4 to 5 parts. So 4 to 5 parts from market structure. Reference for this market structure topic, reference book will be Kursianis. So chapter number 5 to chapter number 10 and chapter number 13. So few chapters from Kursianis. So I will be also referring to that, and this class is basically starting with the market structure. But before beginning, just consider that when we study the market structure, the concept of market in micro is product specific. So when I say it is product specific, it means we are not referring to a marketplace, rather we are basically referring to a market for a product. It could be market for pen, it could be market for visualizer, it could be market for camera, it could be market for chair, it could be market for spirals. So we are referring to market for one particular product here. Now if in that market of one particular product, if we find only one seller, then we call that market as monopoly. If there will be 2 sellers of that product, we call it duopoly. If there are more than one but not large in number, then it is oligopoly. If there are large number of sellers producing same good, then it is perfect competition. Large number of sellers producing differentiated product, then it will be monopolistic. So actually that classification of market is here based upon number of seller. So based upon number of seller, the market can be perfectly competitive if there are large number of seller producing homogeneous product. The market could be monopoly if it is characterized by presence of only one seller. It could be monopolistic in nature if there are large number of sellers producing differentiated product, and it will be oligopoly in nature if there are few big sellers in the market. So broadly आप market structure को 4 parts में divide करें: perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic and oligopoly. As far as question is concerned, you will find always greater weightage for oligopoly, then monopolistic, then monopoly, and then perfect competition, in that order. So your focus should be mainly it is monopolistic and oligopoly, but few questions are there from perfect competition and monopoly also, although it is not written in the syllabus. Syllabus only says monopolistic, duopoly, oligopoly. So just remember that the classification is based upon number of seller. Clear? Now before beginning any market form, one important part is that in any market form we have to take 2 important decisions. In fact, the firm has to take 2 important decisions. One, how much output it should produce and at what price it must be sold. How much output it should produce and at what price it will be sold. So output and price decision is the main. How much output to be produced and at what price it should be sold. Now in any form of market, firm will always produce that much of output where its own profit get maximized. So that is common. So first of all, I will explain some basic point, and that basic will remain same in any form of market. So you will be writing some technical note or basic. So first for your first basic point will be what will be the profit maximizing condition, and that condition will remain same irrespective of any market. So start with the basic one, basic concept number 1. You can write it as a part of a technical note also. Remember, I assume that some of you may not have that economics background. So assuming that I will be starting with that basic, and few basic classes are also uploaded in the foundation course section. If you want, you can see those lectures as well. There will be no charge for that lecture. That means if you don't know elasticity of demand, production loss, cost loss, although in the regular batch also I will be taking care of that. That means I will be starting from the basic part. Like this first note is basically dealing with that. The output firm will always produce that much of output where its own profit get maximized. Now, as you know, when we want to calculate profit, then profit will be difference of revenue and cost. It will be difference of revenue and cost. And what is revenue? Just for example, suppose we want to calculate profit for our institute. So what will be the revenue? Revenue, we can say fees multiplied by number of student. Fees means price, number of student means quantity. So price into quantity is total revenue. Price into quantity. So price multiplied by quantity will be total revenue. From that total revenue you subtract total cost, and total cost has two parts mainly. One is fixed cost. And what is fixed cost? Fixed costs are those which do not depend upon quantity. That means even when quantity will be zero, there will be some fixed cost. Like for example, during the lockdown there was no classes here, but we have to bear that fixed cost in the form of rental. So rental is an example of your fixed cost. And what will be the variable cost? Variable depend upon quantity. So now we are conducting class, it means now it will vary as per the class, like the electricity charges and other expenses. Those will be the variable cost. So total cost has two parts, one is fixed, other is variable. So profit is revenue minus cost. You can denote profit by pi symbol. So revenue minus cost. Clear? We have to find profit maximizing output. That means how much output firm will produce in order to maximize its own profit. So when we maximize, we have to find profit maximizing quantity. So mathematically, जैसे टेक्निकल नोट में लिख रहा हूँ, that means एग्जामिनेशन में ऐसे यूज नहीं करना, जो लास्ट का कंडीशन आएगा वो सिर्फ आपको लर्न करना है. बट अगर कोई फंक्शन लिखा हुआ है और इस फंक्शन को मैक्सिमाइज करना है, तो मैथमेटिकली फंक्शन का फर्स्ट डिफरेंशिएशन 0 आना चाहिए and second differentiation must be negative. So you differentiate that function with respect to quantity because we want to find profit maximizing quantity. So you differentiate revenue with respect to quantity, you differentiate cost with respect to quantity and equate it to 0. When we differentiate, it means it is change in revenue due to change in quantity. जब आप dy by dx कर रहे हैं, it means what? It is change in y due to change in x. So it is differentiation of revenue with respect to quantity. It means change in revenue due to change in quantity. Now any change or any additional change in micro, it will be interpreted as marginal revenue. So when I say marginal revenue, it means additional revenue due to additional quantity. So when I say marginal product, it means additional product due to additional quantity. When it is marginal cost, it means additional cost due to additional quantity. So total, when you differentiate that total, you get the marginal concept. और किसी भी कंसेप्ट को अगर आप डिफरेंशिएट करें किसी फंक्शन को, देन रिमेंबर यू गेट स्लोप ज्योमेट्रिकली. सो स्लोप ऑफ टोटल रेवेन्यू इज marginal revenue. Similarly, slope of total cost will be marginal cost. So by differentiating total cost, you get marginal cost. So MR minus MC equal to 0, which means marginal revenue must be equal to marginal cost. This is your first condition for profit maximization. So profit of firm will get maximized when firm produces that much output where its own profit get maximized, and it must produce that much quantity where MR is equal to MC. So marginal revenue must be equal to marginal cost. So first differentiation equal to 0 and second differentiation must be negative. तो जब हमने first time differentiate किया तो उसका slope आया. So slope of TR is MR, slope of TC is MC. So when you differentiate second time, you will get slope of MR and slope of MC. But that second differentiation must be negative. Now ये complete term negative हो सकता है when this negative value is higher than the positive value, which means slope of marginal cost must be greater as compared to slope of marginal revenue. That is sufficient condition. So profit of firm get maximized where MR equal to MC, that is first condition, and second, slope of MC is greater than slope of MR. Now in simple words it is known as MC cut MR from below. वो भी किसी किसी बुक के अंदर लिखा हुआ मिलेगा, but technically it is slope of MC greater than slope of MR. So follow this first technical note and always remember it. Whenever we want to maximize profit in any market, perfect competition or oligopoly or monopolistic, the profit will get maximized when firm produces that much output where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Now you can say ये तो mathematical equation हो गया. What is the reason behind it? Economic or intuitive reason? Reasoning is very easy. Suppose a firm want to produce a specific quantity, 1 unit. When firm will produce that quantity, it will add to its cost. So one additional unit will be produced, then it will be adding something to your cost. Addition to cost is called as marginal cost, and when that unit will be sold in market, it will add to revenue. Addition to revenue will be interpreted as marginal revenue. So if marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost, what does it mean? अगर marginal revenue marginal cost से ज़्यादा है, इसका मतलब है by producing that 1 unit you will add more to revenue and less to cost. By producing this unit, firm will add more to revenue and less to cost. But if you are adding more to revenue and less to cost, that means you are adding to your profit, so that producing that unit is profitable. So firm will produce that unit and in fact quantity will increase. That means firm will continue to produce more so long as MR is greater than MC. But if marginal revenue is less and marginal cost is more, that means when you produce this unit, it will add more to cost and less to revenue. So it is unprofitable to produce that unit. Therefore quantity will reduce. So this quantity will continue to change so that MR becomes equal to MC. In that way it is equilibrium condition. So a firm will always be in equilibrium when it will produce that much output where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Clear? So just remember that part. So that we will explain when we will be elaborating theoretically. So technical note I am providing just to give you that core concept in the micro. Core means it must be consistent with your mathematical derivation as well. But examination के अंदर ये कहीं लिखना नहीं है इस फॉर्म में, आपको सिर्फ ये लिखना है MR equal to MC will be the profit maximizing condition and slope of MC must be greater than slope of MR. So just this is your first basic note, just copy it, and then on second page write down the second basic note. Basic note number 2 or technical note number 2. Again write down the equation for profit. So profit is difference of revenue and cost. Revenue and cost, and revenue is nothing but price into quantity minus cost. When you calculate total revenue, you multiply price with quantity. When we will find average revenue, that is per unit, then we will divide total revenue with quantity. But total revenue is price into quantity. So when you divide it with quantity, this quantity will cancel out and only price will remain, which means price is always equal to average revenue. Price is always equal to average revenue. So in place of price, you can write average revenue, and it is always in any market. So average revenue into quantity is total revenue. Similarly, average cost into quantity will give you total cost. Average is for per unit. If you multiply it with the quantity, you get the total. So AR into Q is TR and AC into Q is TC. So if you take that quantity common, then in bracket it is AR minus AC. प्रॉफिट को पाई के सिंबल से डिनोट किया. So profit is quantity into AR minus AC. Now how we will get this quantity? This quantity is output. So how to get this quantity? You will get this quantity when you equate MR with MC. So when we equate marginal revenue with marginal cost, we get profit maximizing quantity. So by equating MR with MC, we get this Q. But the term in bracket can be positive, it can be negative, or it can be 0. So there are 3 possibilities. Number 1, if average revenue is equal to average cost. So we will say if AR is equal to AC, then this number is 0. So profit is 0. So there is no profit, no loss. No profit, no loss is referred as break-even point. But even when firms break even, firm is said to be earning normal profit. Now what is the concept of normal profit? Normal profit is in fact included in cost. वो cost में included है. So if you are covering the cost only, then you are earning only the normal profit. Just example. To produce any commodity, firm will be using say labor, land, capital, entrepreneur. तो फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन को जो पे कर रहे हैं वो हमारा कॉस्ट है. लेबर विल बी पेड वेजेस, सपोज 50, लैंड गेट रेंट, capital get interest, entrepreneur get rate of return on the capital. So entrepreneur is basically getting this return, but that return is the normal profit. So if you calculate the cost, then you will say cost is 200. If revenue of firm is also 200, then technically the profit is 0. If revenue is equal to cost, you will say, then profit is 0. But even when that profit is 0, this 50 profit is basically the normal profit. This is the normal rate of return that entrepreneurs must get, because entrepreneur is investing that capital, entrepreneur is taking that risk. So entrepreneur, what should be the normal rate of return? So that normal rate of return is part of cost. अब अगर revenue 250 हो, then who will keep that extra revenue? Obviously labor was paid wages, land owner rent ले गया, capital you are giving interest. So who will be keeping that extra? That extra will be kept by the entrepreneur, the person who is organizing the production. So that profit or that extra is something in addition to the normal. So that will be called as supernormal profit. So if average revenue is greater than average cost, then this number will be positive and it is called supernormal profit. So no issues with the first and second part. If A are equal to AC, there will be no profit, no loss. If A are greater than AC, there will be excess profit or supernormal profit. The third is critical, and it is when AR is less, AC is more. So when AR is less, AC is more, this number will be negative. Negative profit means loss. Now question is, if firms are making loss, then what will be their behavior? What they will do, whether they will continue to operate or whether they will shut down. So in loss, two possibilities exist. They may continue to operate or firm may shut down. They may continue to operate or firm may shut down. But when they will continue to operate and when they will shut down, the decision depends upon, just focus here, if price is greater than average variable cost. Average variable cost I am writing. The decision to continue or decision to shut down depends upon variable. If price is more than average variable cost, then despite loss, firm will continue to operate. But when price is less than average variable cost, then firm will prefer to shut down. That means there will be no production. Because if there is no production, then there will be no variable cost. And if there will be no variable cost, then you are not losing money on the variable cost. Because price is not enough to cover the variable cost. So the decision whether to continue or whether to shut down depends upon the variable cost. So I repeat, if there is loss, firm may continue to operate despite loss if price greater than ABC. Firm may shut down if price is less than the average variable cost. So what is exactly shutdown price? Shutdown price is equal to minimum of ABC. ABC is not a constant number, वो U shape में रहेगा. तो कौन सा पॉइंट शटडाउन प्राइस होगा? दैट विल बी मिनिमम ऑफ एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. इसे याद रखने का एक दूसरा और इजी तरीका है, फर्म विल ऑपरेट ओनली व्हेन फर्म इज हैविंग ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट, और ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट होता है रेवेन्यू माइनस टोटल वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. फर्म विल ऑपरेट इफ फर्म अर्न्स ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट. तो अगर ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट पॉजिटिव है, इट रिक्वायर दैट टीआर मस्ट बी मोर देन टीवीसी, एंड व्हेन यू डिवाइड बोथ साइड विथ क्वांटिटी, व्हाट यू विल गेट? टोटल रेवेन्यू अपॉन क्वांटिटी. इधर ऊपर देखेंगे, टोटल रेवेन्यू अपॉन क्वांटिटी इज एआर एंड एआर इज प्राइस. सो दिस इज प्राइस. वेरिएबल कॉस्ट बाय क्वांटिटी इज एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. So when P greater than average variable cost, there is operating profit, therefore firm will continue to operate. But if P is less than average variable cost, there will be operating loss. That means operate करने पे loss हो रहा है, so better not to operate, better to shut down. So even whether you are studying perfect competition or monopoly or monopolistic or oligopoly, in any market form, you have to follow this rule. So firm will produce that much output where profit is maximized. For that purpose, MR must be equal to MC. That is your first important point. And second, when you equate MR to MC, you get profit maximizing Q. But whether there will be profit or loss, that will depend upon AR and AC. And AR could be equal to AC. It could be more than AC, or it could be less than average cost. So this is your second and most important technical note. Now use these two in order to explain the market. ठीक है, तो हमने अज्यूम कर लिया कि आपको वो बेसिक पहले से नहीं मालूम था मार्केट से रिलेटेड, एंड नाउ वी कैन स्टार्ट विद द परफेक्ट कंपटीशन. तो जो स्टडी मटेरियल है उसमें परफेक्ट कंपटीशन के चैप्टर से है, मतलब बुक अज्यूम कर लेता है कि आपको वो कंडीशन मालूम है. तो अगर आपको नहीं भी मालूम था तो मैंने इस पॉइंट को पहले एक्सप्लेन कर दिया. सो by using these two form, we can start with the first form. Although if you see the importance, then oligopoly topic is more important, but there are many things which we will be relating with the perfect competition. So it is better to start with perfect competition first, and then we will move to oligopoly, then monopolistic, and then monopoly. So when we explain the perfect competition market, it is basically an imaginary market. We are simply imagining that there is a market for a product where there are large number of sellers and each seller produces identical product. That means each seller produces homogeneous product. So the first important characteristic or feature of this market is that it is characterized by large number of sellers. ठीक है, कोई भी इस लेवल पे आपसे परफेक्ट कंपटीशन के फीचर नहीं पूछ रहा. आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग दैट बिकॉज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ दिस फीचर इज इंपॉर्टेंट. Implication. So if there are large number of sellers, that means in a market for a product there are many sellers. So if there are many sellers and if I am talking about one particular seller, suppose seller X, तो ये सिंगल सेलर इसको फर्म कहेंगे और ये कंप्लीट मार्केट हो गया. So if there are many sellers in the market, this one seller is too small. So there are, you can say, many small sellers in the market, and one firm is so small that it cannot affect the market price. So the question is, who is determining the price? Price will be determined in the market, and how market will determine the price? By market forces. Market forces means demand and supply forces. So that market price will be determined by demand and supply equality. But when we talk about firm, remember जो revenue वगैरह कर रहे हैं, we are not calculating revenue for entire market. Micro के अंदर we are studying for one unit, so we are calculating revenue for one particular firm. But one single firm do not have any control over the price. Price is already fixed in the market. Suppose I consider this price as 10. So for single firm, price of product will remain same, 10. At same price, this single firm can sell 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit or as much unit as it can. So when you multiply price with quantity, you get total revenue. So that will come out to be 10, 20, 30 and 40. From this total revenue, you can calculate marginal revenue. So marginal revenue is addition to total revenue. So how much is addition every time? Addition every time will be 10. What is important is that price is get equal to marginal revenue. Perfect competition के अंदर price और marginal revenue equal होना, because price fixed है. So when price is fixed and it is fixed by the market forces, when price is fixed, then every time when you sell one extra unit, the addition to revenue will be equal to the price. So whatever be the price, that price will also be equal to marginal revenue. So price equal to marginal revenue होता है, just remember that point. Under perfect competition, price is equal to marginal revenue. So for a single firm, when you draw the line, it will be horizontal. So price will remain same. So just write a few sentences that you should be remembering. ठीक है, वो अगर आप लिखोगे नहीं तो बाद में वो फिर मिस हो जाता है. मतलब बाद में अगर आप 2 महीने 6 महीने के बाद उसे नोटबुक को पढ़ रहे हैं तो इस रिलेटेड अगर आपने कुछ बेसिक की पॉइंट्स मेंशन नहीं कर रखा है तो डिफिकल्टी होती है. सो जस्ट राइट व्हाट इज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ दिस फीचर. राइट डाउन. This feature imply that is large number of seller. This feature imply that a single firm do not have any control. A single firm do not have any control over price. Do not have any control over price, which is determined by market. Which is determined by market. So firm act as price taker. So firm act as price taker. Underline the word. So firms are price taker, they do not have any control over price. They have to decide only one thing, at that price how much quantity they will produce. This is your first feature. And second is homogeneous product. होमोजेनस प्रोडक्ट, इट मीन्स जितने भी सेलर है मार्केट के अंदर, ऑल आर सेलिंग सेम गुड, सेम प्रोडक्ट. कंज्यूमर कैन नॉट डिफ्रेंशिएट बिटवीन द प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस बाय ए फर्म और बी फर्म और सी फर्म. बट क्या ऐसा प्रोडक्ट रियलिटी में एग्जिस्ट करता है? रियलिटी में होमोजेनस प्रोडक्ट एग्जिस्ट नहीं करते, which means perfect competition market is basically a myth. We are just imagining that there is a market where there are large number of sellers, all sells same good, same product. Then what will be their behavior? And we study perfect competition market because in reality perfect competition does not exist. In reality there is imperfection, but how much is the imperfection in the market? To compare that, you must know, you must have a reference point. So each market will deviate from the perfect competition, but how much is that deviation? So for that comparison, we must know what will be the outcome under perfect competition. So product is homogeneous. And the third point is critical, which is free entry and exit. Free entry and exit. That means in this market, new firms can enter or firms can leave. But the significance of this feature is that if average revenue is greater than average cost, suppose, तो अगर average revenue greater than average cost है, it means firms are making supernormal profit. So if the existing firm will make profit, it is expected that new firms will enter into the market. तो नए फर्म मार्केट में एंटर करेंगे. जब फर्म्स मार्केट में एंटर करते हैं तो इंडस्ट्री का सप्लाई कर्व शिफ्ट हो जाएगा राइट साइड, एंड दिस प्राइस विल स्टार्ट डिक्लाइनिंग. सो दिस प्राइस मतलब एवरेज रेवेन्यू दैट विल स्टार्ट डिक्लाइनिंग, और ये डिक्रीज होता जाएगा जब तक AR और AC इक्वल नहीं हो जाते. बट sometimes AR could be less, AC could be more. In that case there will be loss for the firm. So firms will leave the market, and they will leave the market, supply curve will shift to the left, price will start rising. So important point to note is that ये price कब तक change होता रहेगा? This price will continue to change so that price, which is AR, becomes equal to average cost. That means in the long run, under perfect competition, all firms will be making only normal profit, will be making only normal profit. So the significance of this free entry and exit is that in the long run firms will be making only normal profit. So just write that sentence. The significance of the significance of this feature is that in the long run all firms will be making only normal profit, although perfect competition market के other features भी हैं, like perfect information है या perfect knowledge है, but these वो सारे point आप अलग से explain करेंगे, बुक के अंदर भी और फीचर एक्सप्लेन किएगा. बट दीज 3 फीचर्स आर क्रिटिकल, जैसे आपको यूज़ करना है. क्लियर? सो यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू आंसर एनी क्वेश्चन लाइक एक्सप्लेन द फीचर्स, बट ये 3 फीचर मैंने बताया बिकॉज दीज 3 फीचर विल बी यूज्ड in order to understand the market. So now by using these we can start with a major or main topic, और फिर उस मेन टॉपिक से जो क्वेश्चन आप कर सकते हैं पेपर में, I will be showing that. It is price output determination. Clear? So we are studying in fact profit competition market. In that market we are studying price and output determination. So we will say that the price is already determined. Price is fixed by the market. The firm has to decide only one thing: how much output it will produce. And firm will always produce that much output where its own profit is maximized. So profit maximization is key. And profit is difference between revenue and cost, that is total revenue and total cost. And profit get maximizing condition require that MR is also equal to MC. So there are two approach of price output determination. One is TR and TC approach, and the other is marginal revenue and marginal cost approach. So we will explain both the approach separately. So write down the first paragraph here. The firm is in equilibrium when the firm in market. So we are studying perfect competition market. The firm is in equilibrium when it maximizes its profit. It maximizes its profit, which is defined as difference between TR and TC, difference between revenue and cost. Also, given that normal rate of return is included in cost. Normal rate of return is included in cost. After comma, profit is above the normal rate of return. Profit is above the normal rate of return. Profit is above the normal rate of return. Next paragraph. Equilibrium of firm may be shown graphically. Equilibrium of firm may be shown graphically in two ways. First, total revenue and total cost approach. And second, marginal revenue and marginal cost approach. Marginal revenue and marginal cost approach. So one by one, first we are discussing this TR and TC approach. So focus here. First we have to explain this in graphical way. So when we calculate profit, it is difference of revenue and cost. So we have to draw revenue line, we have to draw the cost line one by one. Revenue is price into quantity, but under perfect competition price for a firm is constant. So when price is constant, like price is constant as 10, quantity could be 1, 2 or 3. So what will be the revenue? It will be 10, 20, 30. So how you can plot that? As quantity will increase, revenue will increase, but it will always increase at the rate of 10. It means it will be a straight line. So this revenue will be a straight line. But why I am drawing it straight? It is drawn straight because price is constant. So just remember, if the market will be different where price is not constant, then the revenue shape will be also different. Revenue curve different हो जाएगा. अगर price constant नहीं है, constant होने पे line straight बननी है. Constant नहीं होने पे the curve will be different. So you plotted that total revenue line straight, or this line you can draw steeper or flatter. The slope will depend upon price. So if price is more, it will be steeper. Remember, slope of TR is MR, but MR और price दोनों same होने हैं. And now draw total cost. After drawing that total revenue, draw the total cost. And as you know, total cost will have fixed cost as well as variable cost. Fixed costs are those costs which do not depend upon quantity, which means even when quantity will be zero, there will be some fixed cost. So just mark any arbitrary amount and show that it is fixed cost. So So when quantity will be 0, even then that cost will be there. In that fixed cost you add variable cost, but variable costs are those which depend upon quantity. So as quantity will change, variable cost will change, and if quantity will be 0, then variable cost will also be 0. So you are adding variable cost into the total fixed cost. So starting from this point, just draw inverted S, but that will be total cost because you have added fixed cost into the variable cost. If you draw only variable cost, start from the origin, and that will be again the shape will be same. So it is inverted as due to law of diminishing return in production. When we will explain the production concept, then this will become clear why the shape is exactly like this. But just for the timing, draw total cost line inverted S in shape. Now the intersection of TC and TR. So when TR is equal to TC, intersection is they are equal. So the intersection of TC and TR will denote that profit is 0. So profit is 0 here and profit is 0 here also. Profit is 0 here also, profit is 0 here also. And profit is the gap between TR and TC. So gap means vertical gap here. So if you mark this distance is in fact profit. So as quantity will increase, profit will increase. There will be a maximum gap, and then again that gap will reduce. So just mark the maximum gap. So this will be the quantity where profit is maximized. So this must be your equilibrium quantity. So this is the quantity where profit is maximized. To the left of it and to the right of it, the gap is less. So profit is maximized here. So if you want to plot profit curve, initially profit will increase, it will reach a maximum and then it will reduce. So initially it will increase, reach a maximum, and then it will decline. So profit curve is in fact inverted S in shape. If you want to draw profit curve separately, it will be drawn like this. This gap is basically plotted here. This gap is plotted here. So this is the profit maximizing quantity, and at that quantities, because average revenue is more, total revenue is more and total cost is less, that means this gap is positive. So this is the diagram for supernormal profit. This is diagram for supernormal profit. But I have added one more point, that when profit is maximized, then MR is equal to MC. Although it is not MRMC approach, it is TRTC approach, but both condition must give you the same quantity. Marginal revenue is slope of this total revenue line. So that total revenue line is straight. So marginal revenue is slope of that line. If you want to get slope of total cost, but total cost is not straight line, it is non-linear. So if you want to find slope, you have to draw tangency at that point. Tangency बनाते because that tangency will be a straight line, और जो straight line होगी उसका slope each point पे same होना है. So you will say that the slope of that tangency will be equal to slope of that curve at that point. That is why you draw tangency. But you will find that this tangency and this TR are parallel. It means they have same slope, which means MR is equal to MC. मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू मार्जिनल कॉस्ट के बराबर होगा. तो ऑब्वियसली जहाँ पे TR और TC का गैप मैक्सिमाइज है, उसी पॉइंट पे MR की वैल्यू MC के बराबर भी होगी. So this is your first diagram repainting supernormal profit. Look, this was a question in 2015. In fact, you can read this topic wise question, market structure. You will find one question 22. Under perfect competition in the short run, find out graphically without using average cost curve the condition in equilibrium of the existence of normal profit, supernormal profit and loss. Under perfect competition, so question refers to perfect competition. Find out graphically, so without using any equation and without using average cost curve. So if you are not using the average cost curve, then you can use only the total revenue and total cost approach. So we have only one option. By using TR and TC, तीन कंडीशन शो करने थे, नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट, सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट और लॉस. तो ये जो डायग्राम हमने बना रखा वो किसके लिए हो गया? सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट के लिए. नाउ ऑब्वियसली ग्राफ ड्रॉ करने का मतलब इस क्वेश्चन में ये नहीं हो कि आपने सिर्फ 3 डायग्राम ड्रॉ कर दिए और कुछ लिखा नहीं. You have to explain briefly, and when you explain briefly, then you are expected to explain why you have drawn this TR line straight, why you have drawn this total cost line inverted S in shape. So what do you have to write? I'm just dictating. So briefly जो points आपको आंसर में लिखने हैं, just write it down. The total revenue curve is straight line. The total revenue curve is straight line through origin. Total revenue curve is straight line through origin, showing that price is constant. Showing that price is constant at all levels of output. Price is constant at all levels of output. Full stop. The firm is price taker. The firm is price taker. And it can sell any amount of output. It can sell any amount of output at current market price. At current market price. Full stop. The slope of total revenue is marginal revenue and it is constant. The slope of total revenue is marginal revenue and it is constant. And it is equal to existing price. It is equal to existing price. मतलब परफेक्ट कंपटीशन का प्राइस और MR और ऑब्वियसली AR ये इक्वल होते हैं. नेक्स्ट पे आप the total cost curve is inverted S in shape. The total cost curve is inverted S in shape due to law of diminishing return. Due to law of diminishing return. Due to law of diminishing return. Underline that. The firm maximizes profit when distance between total revenue and total cost is maximized. Distance between total revenue and total cost is maximized. At any other level of output, profit is not maximized. At any other level of output, profit is not maximized. Full stop. Since difference between TR and TC is positive, so firm is earning supernormal profit. Firm is earning supernormal profit. Firm is earning supernormal profit. So this first diagram is representing supernormal profit. So you have to show 3 conditions, one for supernormal, other for loss, and third for normal profit. So now for the loss, next paragraph. However, in short run, there could be loss for competitive firm. There could be loss for competitive firm when total cost is greater than total revenue. Total cost is greater than total revenue. But you know that in the loss situation there are 2 possibilities. Firm may shut down or firm may continue to operate. So firm will operate when revenue is greater than variable cost. So when you draw the diagram for loss, you have to draw total revenue, total cost as well as variable cost also, because only then you can make a decision whether firm is producing any quantity or whether there is shutdown. But continue this. But firm will continue to operate despite loss. Firm may continue to operate despite loss if total revenue is greater than total variable cost. If total revenue is greater than total variable cost, because in that situation firm will earn operating profit. In that situation firm will earn operating profit. Firm will earn operating profit. If you are showing it graphically now, this situation, draw the revenue line straight. This TC must be higher than TR. So when you draw that total cost line, it must be above at all level. TC must be higher. So the gap between TR and TC is profit, but now TC is more. So that means there is loss. So loss has to be minimized. So wherever you find the minimum gap, just mark that. So this will be the quantity where loss is minimized. But despite loss, firm is operating, and for that purpose they must have operating profit. So your variable cost must be lower than the revenue. So draw for variable, but variable will start from origin. Remember, when you draw the total cost line, it is this. When you draw variable, it will be parallel to this, because the gap between these two will be fixed cost. So draw this also as inverted S and keep it parallel to the total cost line. But we are concerned about this quantity. This gap AB will be the amount of loss, but this gap, which is B to C, will be measuring operating profit. So despite loss, firm is producing quantity because firm is having operating profit. Firm is having operating profit. So this second diagram is a repainting loss. So in the case of supernormal profit, the total cost line was below. For loss, it is above. So what will be the normal profit? For normal profit, it must be just tangent. So you can show that third case. Third is for normal profit. TR must be equal to TC now. The total cost must be just tangent. Normal profit का कोई area नहीं होगा, because that profit is included in cost. Clear? So this tangency point is basically the profit maximizing quantity. Diagram number 3. Clear? So these type of question you can say this is direct question. ये और एक जो क्वेश्चन आप ऑप्शन में देख रहे हैं, ये सेम क्वेश्चन वर्ड टू वर्ड, ये इकोनॉमिक सर्विस का इनफैक्ट क्वेश्चन था. सो इट इज ऑलवेज हेल्पफुल इफ यू सी, if you are preparing for economic service, see the question of optional. If you are preparing for optional, see the question of economic service as well. ठीक है, वहाँ पे वो कंपल्सरी क्वेश्चन 5 मार्क्स के वेटेज में था, यहाँ पे आई थिंक 10 मार्क्स के वेटेज में था, बट क्वेश्चन इज सेम. एक एप्लीकेशन बेस से बता रहा हूँ. इन केस सपोज इन फ्यूचर द सेम क्वेश्चन कम्स and instead of perfect competition it says monopoly, the remaining question is same. So if it is for monopoly, then the diagram of revenue will be different. So when we will be studying monopoly, obviously we will get to know what will be the shape of total revenue line. In perfect competition, revenue was straight because price is constant, but in monopoly firms are not price taker, so the revenue line will be different. So जब monopoly करेंगे, then we will be covering the same question. Now one more question that we can answer, or which was basically on perfect competition, was the question of 2019. This question number 4. Under competition, the cost function is given as y square plus 1, where y is output. Derive the inverse supply curve and show how supply curve looks like. So this was not at all a numerical question. It was basically a conceptual question and the concept used here is that marginal cost curve is the supply curve of firm under perfect competition. So if you know that concept, you can answer it. So do one more topic for this class, that why marginal cost curve is the supply curve, and then we can answer this question. So why marginal cost curve is supply curve. And on marginal cost curve is a supply curve of competitive firm in short run. Short run means it is that period where some factors are fixed, and short run also means that entry and exit is not allowed. Entry and exit is a feature of long run. In short run you can't leave, or name firms cannot enter. So there can be profit or there can be loss. But if we are referring to normal long run, then in the long run, due to free entry and exit, there will be only normal profit. So why marginal cost curve is the supply curve? So if you are explaining supply curve, it means supply curve will explain relationship between what? Price and quantity supplied. That means at price P1, if quantity supplied is Q1, you get 1 point. At price P2, quantity supplied is Q2, you get second point, and by joining all those points, we can derive the supply curve. Now draw one diagram here for market, second diagram for firm, and third also for firm. Intersection of demand curve and supply curve determine price. So price is say P3. Mark this price P3 and draw horizontal line. Then draw average cost curve, and below that draw average variable cost curve, and the gap between these two will reduce because that gap is average fixed cost. And marginal cost always pass through the minimum point of these two, will always pass through the minimum point of these two. So first determine the profit maximizing condition. So you know that profit maximizing condition, profit will get maximized where MR is equal to MC. So MR equal to MC का point जहाँ intersection आ रहा है, first of all mark that point. So this will be the quantity. So if price is P3, quantity produces let us say Q3. So if you multiply price with quantity, you will get the area of revenue. So this rectangle is the area of revenue. From that revenue, you have to subtract cost. For cost, for this quantity, average cost is this. So if you multiply this average cost with quantity, you get this area. So that will be the area of profit. तो अगर आप मार्जिनल कॉस्ट मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू अप्रोच से कंसेप्ट एक्सप्लेन करते हैं तो वो एरिया प्रॉफिट का शो करना, बट यहाँ पे एरिया को मार्क करने की जरूरत नहीं है. फॉर दिस क्वांटिटी प्राइस इज मोर, एवरेज कॉस्ट इज लेस. So firm is making supernormal profit. So firm will supply quantity Q3 at price P3. So at price P3, quantity supplied will be Q3. So I just marked 1 point here. इस point को यहाँ plot कर दिया. Now if price is lower, suppose it is P2, और deliberately ये price AC और ABC के बीच में लेना है. I have to prove a point here, but you will say that price is determined by market. So correct, price is determined by the market. So if supply curve passes through this point, then price will be P2. So this will be MR then. Price is equal to marginal revenue. So now again apply profit maximizing condition. MR equal to MC will be satisfied here now. So MR equal to MC is satisfied here. So this will be the quantity, that is Q2. Now at this quantity you will say that price is less, average cost is more, so there is loss. Price is less, average cost is more, so there is loss. But despite loss, firm will operate because price is more and average variable cost is less. So when price is greater than average variable cost, firm will operate despite loss because firm is having operating profit. So firm will supply quantity Q2 at price P2. So you plotted this point here, clear? But suppose if price reduces further and it is reduces further from P2 to P1 and that P1 is exactly equal to the minimum of ABC. So at that price again I am say equal to MR, you can say at this. Now at that quantity price is equal to ABC. So now there is no operating profit also. So if there is no operating profit, now firm is indifferent. Firm may operate, firm may not operate. But certainly if price is lower than P1, then firm will not operate, then supply will be zero. मतलब इस P1 प्राइस पे ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट जीरो हो गया. if price reduces further then there will be operating loss, so the production will be zero. So at any price lower than P1 मतलब P1 के नीचे quantity supplied will be zero, which means it will be coinciding with vertical axis. But at price P1 firm may supply quantity Q1, may supply means this, may not supply means this. So when you join these points, first, second, third, when you join these points you get in fact marginal cost curve. So the marginal cost curve is supply curve, but it is not the entire marginal cost curve. It is only that part of MC which is above the average variable cost curve. So marginal cost curve is supply curve, but not the complete marginal cost curve. It is only that part of MC which is great above the marginal variable cost, which is above the average variable cost. So this was that means this concept was expected to be applied in that question. So you will be answering that question, but write down the basic one. ठीक है, तो ये जब कभी आप कोई सप्लाई का वगैरह माइक्रो वगैरह में पढ़ते हैं और सप्लाई का वगैरह हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं यहाँ से, तो इस लाइन का मतलब होता है कि एट एनी प्राइस लोअर देन दिस देयर विल बी नो सप्लाई. सो दिस मस्ट बी द शटडाउन प्राइस जहाँ से वो बिगिन हो रहा है, और शटडाउन प्राइस फॉर डिफरेंट फर्म कैन बी डिफरेंट. राइट डन. marginal cost curve is a supply curve of firm, in short run, a supply curve of firm in short run under perfect competition, a supply curve of firm in short run under perfect competition. But it is not entire marginal cost curve. It is not entire marginal cost curve. It is not entire marginal cost curve. Full stop. In fact, it is only that part of marginal cost curve. It is only that part of marginal cost curve. That part of marginal cost curve which lies above average variable cost. Which lies above average variable cost. Underline that. Which lies above average variable cost curve. This is because when marginal cost is less than ABC, that means below that, this area, ये बस सप्लाई कर्व में ये एरिया इंक्लूड नहीं हो रहा है, दिस इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ सप्लाई कर्व विच इज लोअर देन द ABC. This is because when marginal cost is less than ABC, then equating price with MC implies that price is less than ABC, imply that price is less than average variable cost, but any price lower than average variable cost means there is operating loss. Price is less than ABC, this means that there will be operating loss. There will be operating loss. As a result, firm will shut down. Firm will shut down, and there will be no production. And there will be no production. Therefore, only that part of marginal cost curve, only that part of marginal cost curve which is above ABC, which is above ABC, is supply curve of firm. Is supply curve of firm. Clear? Now the question of 2019, उसमें वो पॉइंट एक्सप्लेन करना है एंड देन यू हैव टू आंसर एज पर द इक्वेशन. अंडर कंपटीशन द कॉस्ट फंक्शन इज गिवन एज कॉस्ट इज इक्वल टू वाई स्क्वायर प्लस वन, वेयर वाई इज आउटपुट, मतलब आउटपुट को क्यू की जगह वाई से शो कर रहे हैं बस. डिराइव द इनवर्स सप्लाई कर्व एंड शो हाउ सप्लाई कर्व लुक्स लाइक. सो द क्वेश्चन सेज टोटल कॉस्ट, ये कॉस्ट इक्वेशन गिवन है, वाई स्क्वायर प्लस वन, वाई आउटपुट है, वन कॉन्स्टेंट नंबर हो गया. तो कंसेप्ट से अकॉर्डिंगली यू कैन नो दैट that part of cost which does not depend upon output is fixed cost. So one is fixed cost and y square is variable cost. So from that total cost you can calculate marginal cost. marginal cost के लिए total cost को differentiate करते हैं. तो बेसिक डिफ्रेंसिएशन से अप्लाई हो रहा है. y स्क्वायर को y के रिस्पेक्ट में डिफ्रेंशिएट किया है, पावर से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया और पावर से 1 सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लिया. y स्क्वायर का डिफ्रेंसिएशन 2y, 1 इज कांस्टेंट नंबर, कांस्टेंट टर्म का डिफ्रेंसिएशन 0, सो मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इज 2y. एंड सप्लाई का मीन्स फर्म विल सप्लाई दैट मच आउटपुट वेयर p इक्वल टू mc. तो प्राइस को mc से इक्वेट कर देंगे और mc की वैल्यू 2y होगी. दैट मीन्स अगर आप कोई कॉलम बनाते हैं प्राइस और आउटपुट का, सो इफ आउटपुट विल बी 1 देन प्राइस विल बी 2, इफ आउटपुट इज 2 देन प्राइस विल बी 4, if output is 3 price will be 6. So how to plot? This is output, this is price. So when output is 1 price will be 2, when output is 2 price will be 4. So that means it will always increase at a certain rate or at a fixed rate. So it will be a straight line. This will be supply curve which is coinciding with the marginal cost curve. बट आपने लिखा है कि प्राइस ग्रेटर देन एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट होना चाहिए. तो एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट की वैल्यू यहाँ क्या आएगी? अगर ये वाई स्क्वायर ये हमारा वेरिएबल कॉस्ट है टोटल, तो एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट हो जाएगा टोटल वेरिएबल कॉस्ट अपॉन आउटपुट. सो दैट विल बी वाई स्क्वायर अपॉन वाई, दैट मीन्स ओनली वाई. मतलब वाई आउटपुट 1 होगा तो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट भी 1 होगा. तो ये लाइन, इस लाइन का स्लोप इनफैक्ट 2 है. अगर आप वेरिएबल कॉस्ट ड्रॉ भी करेंगे तो लाइन इसके नीचे बन जाएगी. सो नो नीड टू शो इट. सो दिस इज योर सप्लाई कर्व. एंड व्हाट वाज द मीनिंग ऑफ इनवर्स सप्लाई कर्व देयर? देखो, सप्लाई हो या डिमांड हो, इसे हम दो तरीके से लिख सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई राइट क्वांटिटी इक्वल टू 90 माइनस 2p, तो डिमांड के टर्म में इसका मतलब होता है क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड इज अ फंक्शन ऑफ प्राइस. This is known as direct demand curve or direct demand function. Same thing could be written as 2p equal to 90 minus q. So price is equal to 45 minus q by 2. So when you say price as a function of quantity, it is inverse. So q as a function of price is direct, p as a function of q is inverse. So p as a function of output, ये already inverse लिखा हुआ है, no need to just वो confuse करने के लिए कि इनवर्स सप्लाई का कुछ डिफरेंट होता होगा. प्राइस एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ आउटपुट होता है, p इक्वल टू 2y. अगर इसका डायरेक्ट लिखा होता तो क्या लिखना था? अगर इसका डायरेक्ट लिखना होगा तो इसी को आप लिख देंगे y इज इक्वल टू p बाई 2, दैट विल बी डायरेक्ट. ये दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन यू कैन से आर some application, some concept of you must be marginal cost curve is supply curve. You must know from total cost how to calculate marginal cost and then just plot it graphically. But these are that question, easy question. Out of 10 अगर effectively लिखेंगे presentation better है तो 7-8 तक का भी स्कोर आप में स्कोर कर सकते हो. Clear? So this was question of 2019. ये डायग्राम आप जब कभी ड्रॉ करते हैं मतलब from today's class we just know that the profit maximizing condition is MR equal to MC and we can identify profit from the two approach. One is total revenue total cost approach, other is marginal revenue marginal cost approach. So just draw a separate diagram in note. If you are using MR and MC, okay, we have drawn diagram for that TR and TC. If you are drawing it with MR and MC approach, then you have to draw two diagrams, one for the market, other for the firm, because price will be decided by the market. And then you can draw marginal revenue equal to price. Now if you want to show profit, then draw average cost curve below. If you want to show loss, draw average cost curve above. But in the loss you have to show that firm is making profit. तो लॉस में एवरेज कॉस्ट अबव बनेगा और एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट विल बी लोअर. And in the case of just normal profit, it will be only tangent. So I'm just using for one case. Suppose it is for super normal profit. Just your average cost passing to the minimum of this is marginal cost. And always apply the condition MR equal to MC. So MR equal to MC, equality में जहाँ intersection आ रहा है, that will be the quantity. So price multiplied by quantity, this will be the revenue area. From that revenue we subtract cost. Total cost calculate करने के लिए average cost multiplied by quantity करते हैं. So you know this quantity, for that quantity average cost is this distance. When you multiply you get this area. So revenue area is this larger rectangle, cost area is this smaller rectangle. The difference of these two will be profit. So this is diagram for supernormal profit. ये supernormal profit के लिए diagram. तो marginal cost marginal revenue is basically an alternate approach. इस तरीके के क्वेश्चन आपको डायरेक्टली नहीं पूछे जाएंगे. मतलब वो जैसे TRTC अप्रोच वहाँ पे एक कंसेप्ट इन्वॉल्व था. क्वेश्चन ने कह दिया विदाउट यूजिंग एवरेज. हेयर यू आर यूजिंग एवरेज. एवरेज कॉस्ट ड्रॉ कर रखा है. उस क्वेश्चन में कहा गया था विदाउट यूजिंग एवरेज. सो विदाउट यूजिंग एवरेज you have only one approach, that is TR and TC approach. So this is for supernormal profit. If you want to show it for loss, just draw a final diagram for loss. Remember there will be loss when price is less than average cost, but to operate price must be greater than average variable cost. So show this condition. Demand supply intersection is determining the price. Your average cost must be greater than price. So average cost is above. Average variable cost must be lower than price. So lower than price. And the gap will be declining. और इन दोनों के मिनिमम पॉइंट से you have to draw the MC line. But then to maximize profit you have to equate MR with MC. ठीक है, वो प्रिंसिपल अप्लाई करना है. इसे मार्जिनलिस्टिक प्रिंसिपल कहते हैं. मोस्टली जितने भी आप कंसेप्ट पढ़ेंगे उसमें मार्जिनलिस्टिक प्रिंसिपल को फॉलो करते हैं. जहाँ मार्जिनल इक्वेट हो रहे हैं वहाँ प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइज हो गया या लॉस मिनिमाइज हो गया. सो देयर इंटरसेक्शन इज हियर. दिस विल बी द क्वांटिटी. सो योर रेवेन्यू एरिया इज दिस रेक्टेंगल, बट कॉस्ट विल बी नाउ मोर. So revenue is less than cost. So this is repainting loss. So this will be the area of loss. And what will be the area of operating profit? Operating profit will be, price is this, variable cost is lower. So if you mark this rectangle, this rectangle shows operating profit. So if required in any question, you can show it graphically as well. So there are two approaches. One was MRNMC and the other one is TRNTC. So that TRNTC approach has been asked. So based upon this class, you answered in fact two questions in the market structure topic. So just make a habit of writing those answers. Question matlab just take a spiral separate. Write down this question, mention that year and below just give yourself two side maximum. ठीक है, क्योंकि वहाँ स्पेस कंस्टेंट होते हैं और उस दो साइड में लिखना, मतलब कंपल्सरी क्वेश्चन में यू हैव टू राइट इनफैक्ट 1.5 मैक्सिमम, मतलब उससे ज़्यादा लिखेंगे तो कोई ना कोई क्वेश्चन छूट जाएगा. सो यू आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू राइट अराउंड 150 वर्ड्स. सो 150 वर्ड्स मीन्स 1 पेज एंड नेक्स्ट पेज हाफ पेज. बट यहाँ पे भी स्पेस कंस्टेंट को ज़्यादा बॉदर नहीं करे, बट जस्ट गिव टू साइड्स. और सेपरेट स्पाइरल में दो क्वेश्चन, जैसे ये 2019 का क्वेश्चन किया 4 और क्वेश्चन नंबर 22 आई थिंक था इन 2015. इन दोनों क्वेश्चन को आप सेपरेट स्पाइरल में मेंटेन कीजिए. जस्ट मेंटेन हैबिट. इन एवरी क्लास आई विल बी शोइंग दैट बेस्ड अपॉन दिस क्लास यू कैन आंसर दिस टू प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन. ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन हो जाएंगे. आई थिंक 60, 70, 80% क्वेश्चन वो प्रीवियस ईयर वाले डे टू डे जो क्लास चल रही है उसके अंदर ही सॉल्व होते जाएंगे. जो रह गए हैं उसको आप बस यहाँ पे मार्क करके रख लो. अगर उनमें से कुछ टेस्ट सीरीज के मॉडल आंसर में मिल जाएंगे, स्टिल कुछ रह जाता है, यू कैन आस्क फ्रॉम मी कि इसमें क्वेश्चन में क्या करना है. सो इफ़ यू मेक दैट हैबिट ऑफ राइटिंग 2 आंसर एवरी डे इन अ मंथ, अराउंड 60 क्वेश्चन लिख लिए. 3 मंथ 4 मंथ के पीरियड में अराउंड आपने 200 क्वेश्चन लिख लिए. दैट विल बी गिविंग यू अ गुड प्रैक्टिस. और टेस्ट लिखने का जो फियर होता है वो नहीं रहता है. अदरवाइज स्टूडेंट्स से फियर फ्रॉम टेस्ट कि टेस्ट लिखना है तो वो पूरे 28-19 क्वेश्चन आपको लिखने हैं, तो और लिखने की अगर आदत नहीं है, आंसर के फॉर्मेट में लिखने की आदत नहीं है, देन इट गेट्स प्रॉब्लम. सो आई थिंक दैट इज इनफ फॉर दिस क्लास नंबर 1. इन द subsequent class we will be continuing with this perfect competition and then moving to the oligopoly. But in the perfect competition one more topic is there, which is long run industry supply curve. So what will be the long run industry supply curve? We will explain that and then we will start with the oligopoly. So that main topic is in this section is in fact oligopoly. This will take I think 4 to 5 lectures, and then monopolistic will be taking, let us say, 2 lectures. So in totality market structure will be taking around 10 to 11. और जहाँ जहाँ numerical involved है I will be giving you some illustration, even if not asked, मतलब पेपर में अगर नहीं भी आए हुए तो एक दो एग्जाम्पल के फॉर्म में मैं एक्सप्लेन कर दूँगा. और स्टिल अगर कुछ स्टूडेंट को बेसिक्स में डाउट है या न्यूमेरिकल वाले, आई हैव अपलोडेड a few supplementary classes of micro and macro. मेनली जब लास्ट ईयर का क्वेश्चन कोऑर्डिनेट मॉडल का न्यूमेरिकल आया, वो पहले भी आ रहे थे बट थोड़ी डिफ़िकल्टी थी, प्लस मैक्रो के क्वेश्चन अभी तक आते नहीं थे न्यूमेरिकल. 2019 में भी आ गया एक और 2020 में भी है. सो आई हैव अपलोडेड सम lectures of micro and macro that will be supplementary, that is not part of this regular, but that will help if you are interested in doing some numerical question. ठीक है, वो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के इनफैक्ट जो कंटेंट है ISLM का मैक्रो के अंदर वो है, और माइक्रो में मोनोपोली एंड इम्परफेक्ट कंपटीशन. सपोज यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग ऑलवेज फॉर कोऑर्डिनेट मॉडल, इफ द क्वेश्चन इज ऑन प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, इफ द क्वेश्चन इज ऑन कैलकुलेटिंग डेड वेट लॉस. ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि वो आएगा, बट इन केस अगर वो आ जाता है देन यू शुड बी नोइंग इट. ठीक है, तो जहाँ इतना एफर्ट कर रहे हैं तो थोड़ा एफर्ट और कर लेते हैं गिवन दी क्वेश्चन ऑफ प्रीवियस ईयर्स. तो प्रीवियस ईयर के क्वेश्चन के अकॉर्डिंग, मतलब उस कंटेक्स्ट में मैं कह रहा हूँ यू शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड वेल. तो यू कैन सी दोज क्वेश्चंस, दोज लेक्चर्स. और उसमें निकोल्सन स्नाइडर की जो बुक है उसके एक क्वेश्चन तो ऑब्वियसली ये जो क्वेश्चन मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर में बर्टन मॉडल का ये क्वेश्चन आया, ये क्वेश्चन वहाँ पे निकोल्सन स्नाइडर में चैप्टर के बैक के एक्सरसाइज में गिवन है. वहाँ पे C1 ग्रेटर देन C2 ना लिख करके वो कॉस्ट की वैल्यू गिवन है कि C1 10 है और C2 8 है, बट इट इज सेम. So since one question has been asked, you should be prepared for the other question. तो निकोलसन एंड स्नाइडर, ऑल्दो कोट्सानिस आपकी कोर बुक रहेगी, कोट्सानिस ही आपको रेफर करना है. मोस्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन यू आर आंसरिंग फ्रॉम कोट्सानिस, बट फॉर फ्यू क्वेश्चंस लाइक दिस निकोलसन स्नाइडर, तो सप्लीमेंट करने के लिए इफ यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व एनी क्वेश्चन, दैट मीन्स इवन द न्यू वन, देन यू शुड बी रीडिंग द न्यू टॉपिक एज वेल. क्लियर? बट बहुत ज़्यादा बॉदर नहीं करना है कि सारे नए क्वेश्चन ही आते हैं, ये पैटर्न होता है, ये ट्रेंड होता है, ऐसी बात नहीं है. तो नॉर्मल ट्रेंड वो आपको ओवरऑल क्वेश्चन, किसी भी पेज का क्वेश्चन अगर आप देखते हो, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल दिस, यू विल नॉट फाइंड इन न्यूमेरिकल क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, तो वो 4-5 ईयर पे किसी एक साल में 1 और 2 न्यूमेरिकल आते हैं, तो वो 20 में आ गया तो अब नेक्स्ट सीक्वेंस के अकॉर्डिंगली 4-5 साल बाद ही मिलना चाहिए. बट स्टिल अगर वो रिपीट होता है देन यू मस्ट बी एबल टू सॉल्व दैट क्वेश्चन. Clear? So we'll continue with this in lecture number 2. Thank you.